Welcome to another Turnbuckle Trash Talk, underrated, overrated. This is a nice little game we play where we throw out a name and we decide if they are underrated or overrated.
Yes.
In their peak, I will say. So it'll even include people from the past and people currently. Why don't you throw out the first name?
This is my favorite game because we get to trash on people. So I'm excited. You want to go? Are we battling? Is this what we're doing? Or do you want me? I could throw names all day.
No, we're just going to go back and forth.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
you say a name.
Rick Rude. Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oof. I'm going to have to say he is underrated or appropriately rated. I think when we say appropriately rated, that kind of also falls with underrated.
Yeah.
He was character.
All character.
He was physique. He was presentation.
He had everything, man.
His wrestling was very good.
It was good, yeah.
But I think his character was just amazing. He was a great heel.
Oh,
he
fantastic.
defined what it meant to be an egotistical heel.
Yeah.
And I think he did it perfectly.
Oh, he did. He did. He was fantastic. I think honestly, I think he deserved a lot more, man. I think because he never was world champion. So underrated, I'll say.
Okay, my turn.
Knock yourself out.
Based off of the recent release of the movie Fighting with My Family, let's go with Paige.
I think she was rated. She was good. She was. I think everybody. She's not overrated or underrated. Honestly, she just didn't have the opportunity because she was retired so young to show. Because I don't think she hit her peak yet. Her prime.
I'm gonna say overrated.
Ooh.
Honestly, I think coming on the heels of AJ Lee, I think AJ Lee was way better at pretty much every aspect.
Oh, now we're insulting people.
Than Paige. I think Paige, you're right, never really hit her stride.
Yeah.
So I think it's unfortunate that her career was cut so short because of injury. But honestly, I liked what she was bringing at the time.
Right.
But I don't think she ever reached the point that everyone was hyping her up to, probably because of her career being cut short.
Right.
So I think she was overrated. For the time that we had with her, I think that she was overrated. Did we need her at the time she was in? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I think that she's one of the greatest female wrestlers that there've been? No.
Right.
I don't. I don't think
she
she's
was
in the
the
top
start? Do you think she was the start of the women's evolution?
No.
Why not?
Because AJ Lee was the start of the...
You're crazy.
Absolutely.
AJ Lee?
She was the one...
AJ Lee is trash.
No, AJ Lee came out and said women deserve more time.
Oh,
she came out and said women deserve more money. She started it. I think Paige was a step in it, but I think she was more of a step than the Bellas, for sure.
Oh, hands
because
down.
the Bellas take a lot of
yeah.
credit for the women's revolution that they
Bellas
do not deserve.
don't deserve shit.
But I don't think she's like Asuka. I don't think she's like Becky Lynch. I don't think she's at that level.
She's not Sasha Banks, not Bayley.
I think she's overrated.
I think she would fit perfectly in what is this women's evolution right now because she is definitely a great competitor.
Absolutely.
But it was cut short, so it was unfortunate.
So we'll never know,
yeah.
Unfortunately.
What are you going to do? Ready?
Ready.
Big Boss Man. Ooh. He's nervous. He don't want to answer on this one.
I do want to answer. Overrated.
Overrated, agreed.
Overrated. He was a staple of my childhood. I love Big Boss Man.
He used to do this with a nightstick.
But he's forgettable.
He is.
He's not 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Even now, people don't know who he is.
He is not Vader.
He's not Vader.
Not Vader.
He's not Vader.
He was big. He was a boss and he was a man. That's all.
I liked the prison guard gimmick.
I
liked some of the stuff they did with him, but like the kennel match was horrible.
Yeah.
Like he's just.
Was his finisher like a sidewalk, like a slam, just like a?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, but yeah, definitely overrated.
I'll agree with that.
Okay, let's do someone from today.
Okay, hit me with it. Hit me with your best shot.
Dean Ambrose.
Oh my God. Okay, so there's underrated, there's rated, there's overrated, and then there's extremely overrated. That's Dean Ambrose. That's he's extremely overrated.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah.
Extremely overrated. I think the hype that they put behind Dean Ambrose, the only portion of Dean Ambrose's career I enjoyed was when the Shield first debuted as heels. When he was the mouthpiece for the Shield, he was great. He was menacing. But man,
Can I say
want
something?
Jon Moxley back so bad.
Can I say something? Roman Reigns can out-wrestle Dean Ambrose.
I might actually agree with that. I might
Are
actually
we on
agree.
terms?
I think
We're
we
on
might be on
terms.
terms with that.
This is why the magic happens in this area. Because we can agree on some things.
It's true.
Maybe not on Twizzlers.
I think Roman Reigns could out wrestle Dean Ambrose, but he can definitely not out act Dean Ambrose.
Not by a long shot.
If you, in fact, if you put the two of them together,
you might have a star.
You might actually have a star. You might actually have a real star.
Yeah, you could have a Seth Rollins.
Because I like Roman's look.
Yeah.
I like his wrestling for the most part,
Yeah,
but
it's
his
not terrible.
character work is god awful.
It's very bad.
Anyway,
Very
your
bad.
turn.
Okay. All right. The Bushwhackers.
Oh, God.
I'm throwing throwbacks. He said, let's pick somebody recent. I'm throwing throwbacks because that gives you a long time to think if they were overrated or not.
Appropriately rated. I think they were appropriately rated. I think
Yeah.
they were a great comedy gimmick.
Mhm.
I think they were a good tag team, a solid tag team to have to stir things up in the tag team division.
Uh-huh.
They appealed a lot to kids. I think they were appropriately rated. I would love to see more of their work when they were heels originally.
Yes.
I think that would be interesting to see more of. But honestly, from the period that I've been exposed to of them, they were appropriately rated.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, job well done. Job well
Let's go with
done.
the Hart Foundation.
Ooh, like as a unit?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Jimmy
Matt?
Anvil Neidhart, Bret Hart,
Owen Hart.
Jimmy Hart, Owen Hart.
Oh, man, I'm going to say that they are overrated, man. I want to say they're overrated. Jim the Anvil Neidhart is overrated, although I really loved him when I was growing up. Owen Hart, I think, was overrated, and with all respect, he just never made it to his prime either.
He didn't either.
But that's why I'm going to say that he's overrated because he just never made it. Bret Hart, I think, was also overrated. Also, just because I feel like he was such a great babyface, for a time, he was the Hulk Hogan. He was the face of WWF, and everybody loved him. The glasses, all that. The gimmick was great. But I think as far as them, he was just overrated.
There's a reason that when they were on top, when they were like a big staple, wrestling was kind of in a dark period.
Right.
And I agree with you. I think it's either the very tippy top of appropriately rated
Right.
or overrated. Because it really depends on who you ask. It really depends on what context, what time. But I agree with you. I think, and it's going to be controversial, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of arguments about it. But honestly, I think they are pretty overrated, and I agree with you about Bret Hart. Actually, we could even do a whole bit about him separately.
Yeah.
But it was just like they were quintessential tag team wrestling. I will say that. They were, especially during the time, they were very, very important to tag team wrestling. And technically, in the ring, I would say that they are appropriately rated.
Yeah, because they're studs.
But as far as all the character work and all of the, I would say definitely.
I think Owen Hart outshined them as far as character work, because Anvil was just a crazy. He would just grab his beard thing.
I probably wouldn't put them in my top 5 stables.
Not at all.
So okay,
that's wow.
Yeah, that's controversial.
Woo!
Your turn.
My turn. I'm gonna hit you with somebody that everyone seems to argue and put him on top like he's the greatest, and I'm gonna start off by saying that he's overrated.
Who?
Tito Santana. Take it for what it is, man. Overrated. I think it was overrated.
I'd say appropriately rated because he's not a name that I think of he hasn't had as much of an impact on my personal wrestling experience, I suppose. I'm sure he was big for his time, but he didn't have a huge impact on me, so I wouldn't say that he was overrated or
when
underrated.
You hear the name Tito Santana, what goes off in your mind? Do you anything?
Old school, great wrestler.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, that's why I say appropriately rated. I don't think, when I hear top 10 lists of wrestlers or anything, his name doesn't usually come up for me.
When you tell me Tito Santana, right, and everyone says, do you think he's overrated or underrated? For me, in my mind, what it is that I hear so much hype behind his name. People say, legends. Because that's the biggest thing with a lot of people. When they talk about wrestling, they talk about legends, and they think just because someone worked in the federation, in the WWE for a little bit, and did absolutely really nothing, but they were there for a little bit, and they passed away or something just happened, or they're still somehow involved and opened up a wrestling school, but they have no credentials really to back it up, that they're considered a legend. Let me tell you something, brother. You're a legend when you make your mark in this sport, When you have something that you can say and is set in paper, and 20 years from now, you tell me, hey, you remember the referee Kent? Yes, I do. That's when you're a legend. I'm sorry.
That was good. That was good.
I was getting worked up.
That was good. I can appreciate that.
I was getting emotional,
I can appreciate that.
That's it.
Okay, let's go with Demolition.
Oh, extremely overrated. Extremely overrated.
Whoa.
The Demolition are a ripoff of the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. Let me throw my jacket on this. Man, the Demolition, I tell you what, when I saw them, I thought this is the dumbest tag team I've ever seen. Axis Smash was the dumbest shit. The face paint, they were Kiss ripoffs of the damn the Road War. I'm getting upset. It's getting hot in here. These guys were trash in the ring. Their character was just terrible. I can't believe they went as long as they did. Man, Road Warriors were great.
I'll say I agree. I agree. In wrestling, there have been so many knockoffs, obvious ripoffs of another gimmick, or again, you're right. You had your Legion of Doom, and Demolition was created to be pretty much a carbon copy of Legion of Doom, and they were a bad copy. Yeah. They did not take all the good parts with them. Exactly. They just took some of the gimmicky stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's all it was.
So I agree with you.
That's all it was. I'm going to hit you with one. Bill Goldberg.
Overrated.
Oh, my God.
Overrated.
Hell no.
Yes.
I hate you,
His
Kent.
wrestling ability
is
totally
fantastic.
was not up to par.
It was great.
No. He was like 4 moves. He was overrated. He was overhyped. He was built in the machine solely to be the guy. Just like a Roman Reigns. We just talked about Roman Reigns. In fact, I would say Roman Reigns
compare
is
Roman's
better.
No, don't you say it. Don't you say it, Kent.
Than Bill Goldberg. No. Yes. Yes. Goldberg had very little character.
You don't need character when you're a monster.
He was only a monster because that's how they booked him.
Okay, they tried to book Roman Reigns as a monster.
I know, and that
it
was
didn't
a mistake.
Work.
That was a mistake.
Goldberg
hey, it's my turn. You'll get your turn.
Shit.
Goldberg was overrated because he was literally manufactured to be a star. They booked him to be a star. They built him to be a star, but they didn't teach him to be a star. They didn't teach him to have charisma. They didn't teach him to be a better wrestler. He was very, very good. I'm not denying that. But saying that he was one of the best is a lie. It is a flat-out lie, and it's not true. He wasn't one of the best. He's only going to be the best because they made him the best.
Maybe we're not on the same page, because I hear what you're saying. Goldberg was never put in. Okay, I see what you're saying when they pushed him to be a star and all that good stuff. But Goldberg, per se, as a wrestler, never got the credit he deserved. Because, remember, he was a former football player. That was it. His time training in wrestling wasn't very long. He had the rude awakening when, no pun intended, but he had it, give it to him when that match with William Regal happened. And even then, watching that match back, I thought was a great match.
It was.
Because you could tell he had to work for it, you know? And in that case, I feel like Goldberg was never given the credit that he deserved as a wrestler that he should have been. Could he have used work? Oh, yes, anyone could.
No, and I agree with you. If you analyze the behind the scenes of Bill Goldberg, it is ridiculously impressive. You're right. He had to learn very quickly how to be a wrestler. He's been challenged several times, but he has a career. Everyone talks about the streak. So much of that streak was built off of 60-second or less matches with jobbers. That is not.
Because he's Goldberg.
That's not a career-making performance. That's called booked too strong. Booked too many squash matches.
Okay.
Too many matches that don't really matter.
Find someone else who could do a spear that good.
Oh, I'm not denying that he's got a great
spear. He has
spear.
the best spear in the business.
I'm not denying that at all. But
Stop
that
doing
does
spears
not
if you can't do it
make
right.
him one of the greatest wrestlers
I'm
ever,
okay.
and that's how he gets pushed.
So we agree to disagree. I don't think he is the greatest, but I think he deserves a little more credit than what he was getting. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's it. No big deal. That's all I'm trying to say.
All right. I think that's a good one to end on.
Yeah.
This was another segment of Overrated, Underrated. What do you guys think? What did you think about our thoughts on these wrestlers? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? We want to know. Comment on the video. Let us know what you think. And we will see you guys next time for another version of Overrated, Underrated.